Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our next interesting conversation with one of our awesome country chairs. My name is Jennifer Randive, and I'm very fortunate to be the global chair for G100 Oneness and Wisdom. An amazing movement started off by our dearest, Dr. Harbin Arora Rai, who had the vision of bringing women together and men to help one another to become really powerful and potent and actually shift the needle of how things are for both genders to work together. And this is what it is that we love to do. And one thing that I really enjoy is to speak to our amazing country chairs. And that's why we started off a podcast for G100, and which I get to meet and learn so much from all our amazing country chairs across the world. So we all are just getting over celebrating Valentine's Day. But what if there is love for something that you do? My next country chair will be speaking about her passion and her love for helping people become extraordinary. Without further ado, let me welcome in our amazing Cameron country chair, Miss Marie Claire Ebale. Hi, Marie. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm good. Jennifer, how are you too?
I'm wonderful. How was your Valentine's Day, if you had one?
Hello, my Valentine's Day was doing the job I like,
Ah,
running errands because I want to climb Mount Cameroon
okay.
on this weekend. So I was running some errands for that and go to church because it was also the start of the what will we say it in English? Le carême. In French, we say carême.
Okay. Whoever has to get that will get that. No problem.
Yeah.
Cool. So,
So
Mary
that
over
was
here,
my Valentine's Day, and I spent time with my family at home during the day and in the evening because I was working at home.
okay, cool. Wonderful. So, I see that you are extremely passionate about people's transformation to impact their life and their business. Now, that is a very vast area to look at, right, Marie? So, my question to you is, first and foremost, did you start thinking about wanting to help people when you were a little kid, or did you go through some sort of transformation to say, wow, this is what it is I want to do? Tell us about that.
I will say it was a journey.
Okay, because many of us, and I've interviewed quite a few people in my life, and many of them just knew from the very onset that they're going to be doing something. They didn't know how, but they knew that something
Mhm.
was in them. So I've just wanted to check whether.
Maybe it's the same thing because when I say it was a journey, because it was a journey which starts with me deciding that I want to be um, um, an
Instrument,
aesthetic
an
an
instrument of,
aesthetic
yeah.
an aesthetic chirurgian. Do
Mm.
we say in English?
A person who's going to help
an,
us.
an aesthetic surgeon. It
Oh,
was
really?
me
Oh, wow.
deciding that I want to be at 7 an
Wow.
aesthetic surgeon
Okay.
because I read in one of my father's book that people can be really, really, really miserable, miserable,
Miserable.
yes, because of their look, because of their body. So I decided
Oh,
that I want
okay.
to be an aesthetic surgeon. But moving forward, I read some of my father's other book, and because he was a
An author.
psychologist, Yes, so psychology. So I read some psychologies, and I realized that it wasn't because of uh, our bodies. It was because of
Uh,
how we look at ourselves, how we look at our world, how we look at others, that people can be sad in their life or happy. So I decided to be psychologist.
Good on you. It's really, really good. Uh,
Yes, because and that was what I did in university, because that was what I was willing to do. And working in this area, I work a lot with people who in work in people at work, because we was providing training and consulting and coaching for them. And I realized that there are a lot of suffering at work. And the three main reasons was team management, HR management, and the way uh, and our career choices.
mm, that's
So
good.
I decided to work on that.
Okay, so it's just so coming a little at the back. So you became a psychologist, and then
Yes,
you.
and when I was working at time,
Mm,
it was in 2011.
mm,
Um, we work a lot with workers, because we were providing training for them for retire management, stress management,
but
well-being
this,
at work.
were you doing this while you were in college or afterward?
No, when I was at
Okay,
university,
as
I
part of
was
your
working.
internship, as part of your
Yes, at
internship. Okay.
firstly at part of my internship, but then as a trainer manager.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yes, so that's how I start to work in training
Okay, wonderful. Great.
and with workers. So I realized that
Mm,
working with people at work, working with that people, I realized that there was a lot of suffering
mm,
at work.
mm,
And due to the three main reasons I mentioned, so I
mm,
decided to work on that, in the organizations,
mm.
and help people and the organization build fulfilling and performant workplaces. So that is what I have been doing since then.
Good. So, how many years have you been doing this?
So I have been doing this after my, because I went back at school.
Mm,
I took 2 years
mm,
to do a master degree, and I come back at 2014.
mm.
So I have been doing that since 2014.
So good, some good time. In your experience, Marie, working with people and um, helping organizations to assist people to perform better in teams and to transform the workplace, have you noticed that what sort of approach do you think works the best? Do you think you go in and you tell people, okay, fine, this is the right way of doing it, and you must do it. Otherwise, you're not going to perform well, and then your scores will go off the charts, and then you're not going to get promotion and all of that. Or do you actually take an individualized approach? You really get to know people because I have
Yes,
seen this that organizations usually go with some sort of a framework where you've got to fit everyone in that
everyone
framework.
in that framework.
Okay. But
Yes,
I believe that what you are wanting to do here is to look and you really believe that each and every one of us is extraordinary. So I'd like to talk a bit about that. So the
all
approach
right.
of how do you go about first and foremost our organizations within the area that you're working? What are the territories that you cover right now, the work that you do? Which countries do you
So
cover?
right now I work in Cameroon. I also work in Senegal, Guinea, um, Comoros, Niger, Mauritania,
Wow, it's
um,
amazing.
Central Africa Republic, Chad, DRC.
Wow,
There
it's
are
really
many.
good. So do you see the same? So now in all of these the different parts of the world that you are exposed to, what has been your observation of how organizations function? That's my number one question. And number two, how do you then approach helping them to become extraordinary as an individual? I'm really
All
interested in
right.
that.
All right. So, like many organizations, and here in Africa, it's much even the organization who want to do better are still in the process mode, and who said process says framework, and we want to put things together and say, here is what we want to do. But with the organization I work with, we will say that above this is what we have to do, they are um, they are a window for self-expression.
Okay.
You can work your magic there.
Good.
You
Good.
can work your magic there. And here is where I come because I really think that everyone is extraordinary and not can become. I think that everyone is extraordinary.
Wonderful. Yes.
That a lot of people just don't know that just don't see that they are extraordinary. And that one of my first duty when working with people is to help them change the look they have to their toward their self,
Mm,
their to open their eyes to the extraordinary they has in their self, not outside. So it's not I have to get this before, I have to learn this before, I have to do this before. It's who you are right
right.
now, what you have right now, what you know right now. What can we do with that? And you see when people realize that or change
Mm,
their eyes, they can start to uh, let themselves to be more themselves
mm,
without fear,
mm,
fear of failure,
mm.
fear of uh, crit of being
Being
criticized.
criticized. Mm,
If they make a mistake, if they try and they fail, people will laugh. People they can be blamed, they can be fired.
mm,
When we open the room for people to test, to express themselves, they have the ability and the capability to help the organization grow, and I will say um, they are more committed because they put themselves in what they are doing. They are not just following the step they receive. They are putting a little bit of themselves in what they are doing. So
so amazing.
it become in some way a part of them.
Which is amazing because that is so required. And I'm very pleased to hear that people and organizations are open to receiving that kind of information and helping their people because it is the most impactful thing for someone. and I do it pretty similar work. So when I spoke to you, I think the first time it was like, wow, amazing work. That's awesome. Because it's really true. It's really, really true, Marie, when each one of us can open up. And I call it when we can uncover and discover our own
Exactly.
brilliance. That is what makes a great difference, you know. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's phenomenal. So um, when people do you sense that when people are going through this process of realization, like, oh wow, I am extraordinary, it's like, woohoo, what can I do, you know? Do you sense that many people would like to accept that, or many people in the process go, I can't be that, I'm not good enough, I don't have the money, I don't have this, I don't have that, because all of those limiting beliefs will show up to
We show
stop
up.
people all the time. My,
Yes.
my question to you is, how do you approach someone who's in that kind of a situation and who's not willing to become extraordinary as they are?
So, when someone is not willing to be extraordinary, the first thing is that he hasn't changed his inner dialogue with himself and um, his the way he is looking at himself. So the first part of the work is not done. So you cannot go in, do that, do that, do that, because it's the
Mm,
first part with his system belief that we have to work on. And you have a lot of people who will say, I don't have money, I don't have time, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I'm not enough. With all the reason we can
yeah,
come
yeah,
up when
yeah,
we
yeah,
when we don't want to do the work.
yeah, yeah.
So what do we do? For some people, it's really that they don't have money. So for some people, I will say, if you don't have money now, let's do the work, and uh, we will see where we will see what it brings us. For people who think they don't have time, what I usually say, do is that I give him some exercise to do, not something
Very
that will take a lot of time, but something that will help him see or look at his days otherwise.
mm,
So he will be aware of the way he is
progressing.
functioning in a
Yeah.
daily basis, and he will have one thing to do,
Mm,
and if he gets result from this thing,
mm,
so he came back himself. I will
mm.
not come back.
Good.
And for people who are willing to pay
Mm,
to make time, but has a lot of self-doubt within themselves, so we will start working with that to understand where are those doubts
coming from.
come from,
Mm,
and secondly, to I will say, examine them in order to help him to see that there are a lot of lies
mm.
lying within or under.
Yeah,
uh, and since and I am not the one who will be doing that, I will just ask questions that will help
exactly.
the person realize that it's
Uh-oh, it's not me. It
it's
was something
it's not
else.
me, it's
Yeah.
not true. It's lies I have been telling myself, or people have been telling me, and I buy into them. So that is the first part we will be doing, and this part has two objectives or two goals. help you change your inner dialogue and help you change your vision,
Perception,
the vision you have for yourself.
Wonderful. No, it's interesting because, but then you also have people who just refuse to change.
Yes, you
What do
have
you do with
also
those
people
people?
who just host. But when I was carrying on my savior syndrome, I will try to
Let me save
convince
everybody.
I
Yes.
will try to convince everyone that he will benefit from for working with me. But now I am not
You're not a
anymore
savior
under
anymore.
my savior syndrome. So I will let you be and accept that you are not ready for that, because there are people who are not ready. And when someone is not ready, you cannot force them to do the work, because if you say training, if you say coaching, that means that I am willing to do the work. And if I'm not ready, if I don't see that I have a problem, or if I'm not willing to address this problem, I will not do the work. So it's not,
Yeah,
I can use this energy to have someone else who is ready and willing to move forward.
I think I really agree with you there. What I have noticed also is that there will be people who will choose not to work with you. Okay. And it has got nothing to do with you personally.
With you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's one. Number two, we as coaches and mentors have to get this, that we're not here, and you very correctly say, we're not here to save the world. We're not saviors. Okay. Because what happens usually is when we are on this path of helping people to become extraordinary and someone doesn't choose to be that, what happens in the beginning is like, oh my God, maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe
With
I'm not doing
me.
this. Okay. So
Exactly.
yes, many people, many coaches and mentors actually experience that. But I'm here to tell you, with all the experience that I have, and probably you can tell us too, it's like we have to give up that savior mentality. And you're very right when you say that, Marie Claire, because we're not here to save the people at all. First and foremost, we're not saving anybody. Okay.
No,
Number two, we're helping people to awaken to their own brilliance. Okay.
exactly.
Third, we're not here to tell you you're right or wrong. We're here to ask you questions for you to become aware of yourself. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Number four is when you actually recognize that for you, then you will see for yourself how brilliant you are. And when you can take that brilliance and apply it to the work that you do, that's what actually makes a difference in the work.
Difference in
Okay,
the
so that
world.
is what
Yes.
is as basic as that. But again, I'd like to ask you some questions where what your experiences have been, because it's really nice to be able to speak to somebody who gets what it is that I think both of us actually do, or maybe in different levels, right? But one thing that I enjoy is like when people are resistant to change, what have you seen in your experience about why is it that they resist so much change? What is it? What have you seen in your experience?
In my experience, why people resist to change is two reasons.
Okay. Okay.
The first one is that um, they have the fear of change.
Okay.
Even if their current situation is not fulfilling, it's
Mm,
something they know.
mm,
And change means they have to uh, change this current situation they already know
mm.
and do things they can do new things, and with the risk that they fail. So
Okay.
it's fear of change, which is a link with fear of failure.
Okay.
And so they are not sure that if they get in the process of change, they will have enough, I will say, means or capability to get to the result they want.
Mm.
They are not sure. So
Okay.
they won't move. And the second reason is that in the balance of changing, the reason why I accept my current situation is upper the reason I have to change. So why will I change if from now I don't see much advantage to change than my current situation? So people start to move in changing when they realize that what who they want to be is better, is lighter, is more uh, I will say is happier, is than who they are now.
Mm.
When they see that there are more benefits in changing than there are benefits in who they are now, or they are or inconvenience of who they are now. If the benefits are not
Apparent or visible.
apparent, visible, and we'll say bigger than the inconvenient, he will not move. And the last one is that today people like quick, I will
Quick
say
fixes.
the things,
Quick
quick
fix.
results. And my mother used to say that a change is not like the salt you are putting in your sauce. When you put salt in sauce, you just move and
Changes.
you
Yeah.
have the taste you want. But when you want to change, you have to put time, effort, and today people want quick result, and they don't want to make the effort to work on this result.
So do you see that? That's brilliant. Thank you for sharing that. But do you see organizations being open to allowing all of this work to be done for individuals within the organization, or do they also want a quick fix?
Many organizations also want quick fix. That's true. And so they will say, we want to be trained on this topic. We will have a group training. They take a group training. You say it's good to take a group training, but it's better to have a personal
One-on-one.
follow-up, or if you don't want a personal follow-up, or group coaching follow-up who will come after the training to help people operationalize what they get in training. But they don't want, because you want training, I get you training, and that
That's
is
it.
it. Now you have also some organizations opening coaching, individual coaching training and program for their staff,
Very good.
but it's more for
The work.
it's more for work and for the
Organization as a whole to reach their
yeah,
objectives.
not the organization as a whole, but CEOs,
Uh,
department,
Heads.
head of department. It will be people who are really high in the hierarchy. but not for everyone.
But this is really ridiculous.
Personally,
I think it is really ridiculous because it's not the people that are up there that really require so much because they've already reached that level. And I think if people could actually, organizations and senior management would look at who runs your business, it's the people,
it's the
right?
people.
And unless you are not concentrating on how your people are within themselves, how are they going to impact what it is that you do? So instead of having coaching, and I'm not saying that's a step in the right direction, okay, having coaching within the organization, that's brilliant. But who are you coaching? And what kind of coaching is it? And is the coaching only there to help you achieve your targets? Or is it your coaching designed to really open up the individual to his own brilliance so that he could impact the work that he does without any confusion? Okay.
Yes, that is really, really important what you are saying, because sometimes many organizations doesn't realize that it's by investing in the individual that they will get what they want.
Exactly. It's actually very true. If your people are not operating in the same frequency as to what your vision is for the organization, then it's you're actually taking things and it's falling apart.
Yes.
So instead of helping
So in
people
the
to
other
fall apart,
part, exactly. But in the other part, you also have individual people at work who really know that they can benefit from an accompaniment, a coaching, mentoring, but they are not willing to pay for that
mm,
because they think that it's
the job of the organization to
the
provide.
company
Yes.
responsibility to do that.
Okay.
And you look at them and you say, when you are getting a coaching for yourself, true, the organization will benefit for that, but you are the first one who will benefit for that. And the day you say, I don't want to work in this organization anymore, you will take your head and yourself and go elsewhere. And so,
Benefit from that.
exactly, we have to learn to invest on ourselves first, because organizations, if we will talk and say that they have to invest in their people in order for their people to invest on them. But the reality is that they have their target uh, at mind, and they will always do what they think is the best for their target. So as as person at work, I have to think to help myself grow in the best way I can, because it's not my company duty at first.
Exactly. It is a duty to yourself. How it is that and the funny part is this, you're very right when you say that, because if you're looking at it, if you are waiting for someone to make you feel good about you, you're doing yourself an injustice,
An
quite honestly.
injustice.
Okay, that's number
Mhm.
one. And secondly, if you really become a grander version of yourself now by doing the coaching and the mentoring, can you imagine what impact you will have on an organization? And even if your current organization is not being open to the changes that you can bring and the work that you can deliver because they have a different agenda, then can you imagine how much of that training and coaching is going to benefit you when you get your new job within another organization that is so
Exactly.
wanting to have someone like you to shift and change what it is that they have been hoping for, and you are the ideal person
Exactly.
to do it. You know, I think it is a remarkable thing to actually look at. And I just wanted to add one thing, and I want your opinion on it. What do you think? It's like when we are talking about asking people to stand out in organizations. Okay, we tell people you must be outstanding, but when they are ready to stand out, then management sometimes has a problem with them standing out, because then they try and push them down and say, no, you have to conform to the norm to perform. Okay, what happens in those situations? Because it's happening, and those are the
Because
kind of
it's happening.
conversations. Yeah, those are the kind of
Yes.
conversations people go, shh, don't talk about it. This could not do. I'm one who wants to talk about it and get it out in the open, to become people not to rile anybody up or ruffle anyone's feathers, but to help people to recognize that, oh my God, this is actually happening. So what could we do to change it? So I'm asking you the question, what do you see as some way of helping organizations? Because I think we have got the three P's completely, okay, people, profit, and performance. I think the three P's are totally gone haywire. And then the wrong hierarchy, quite honestly. I think the first one should be people who actually will drive the performance
Performance,
that results in your profits.
your profit, yes.
Okay, but I think we've been operating from profit, performance, and then last of all, people. It's a bit weird. It's actually a bit
It's
ridiculous.
really weird.
And who is running your organization? Are you doing it sitting at the top? No, it's the people. It's. I mean, I've always maintained that, and it's really interesting to hear people's different point of view. So now, when organizations say you must stand out, and then when you do, then they push you back down. What happens in that case? What have you
So you
experienced?
have organization with their standard. We will say we want people to stand out, and it's good because it's the organization policy, is the organization values, maybe. But in the organization, they are human, they are people, and people with their insecurities, with their values, with their culture,
Mm,
and those people will come in the organization with that. So if the organization doesn't have a strong culture,
mm,
uh, they will not have a culture at all,
mm,
because it's the people in the organization who help our values, our culture um, became real.
mm.
Without those people, they are just word on the wall,
Exactly.
nothing else. So um, when you are the head of the organization and
Mm,
you hire team managers, you have to make sure that the team managers you are hiring are um, are willing to embrace your organization culture, to embody your values, to operationalize the policies. Because if they are not willing to do that, people under them will not be able to do that too. So if you are willing as head of a company to help people stand out, you have to make sure that your team leaders are standing out. If they are not standing out, they will not be ready to let the others under them standing out. And you have to open you have to give the voice to everyone, for people to be able to say to you in the ways you define in your organization that these team leaders is not playing the game.
Yeah.
The game of
So
helping
feedback,
people
exactly.
grow and standing out. Because if people are feeling safe in your organization, safe enough to tell you that my manager is not letting me do the best I can do for this organization to grow, we will not grow, and you will not know that you have team leaders in your team that are not representative of your culture, the culture you want your organization to carry. So that is what I will say. It's that firstly, we have to hire the people who are willing to embody our values, our policies, our culture. If not, it will not work.
Great.
And if I, as an individual, I work in a company who has values, policies, culture, but is not living, the people in there are not living those beautiful words that get me in there. The choice is mine. Do I think that I can express myself better in another company? Yes, I can, absolutely. If I get there, I can get out. So you are not married with this company, but and if you are even married, you can get a divorce. So
yeah.
So
it's really cool.
If when you are in a company, you are I have I used to say that a company is like a community. You come because you share their values, their culture, their vision, their mission. You want to contribute, you want to work, you want to embody, you want to commit in helping them bring in life what they are, what they believe in. When you are inside and you realize that they are not doing what they say that they will be doing with you, it's a community, it's not a family. You can leave. You can go out. You can go out and find a community in which you can express yourself in the way you are willing to express yourself in order for you to be fulfilled in your life and impact others while doing that.
Very, very beautifully put. Thank you for that. Really good. Wonderful. I have another question for you. And the question is, since organizations have created so many policies and procedures, and it's necessary for organizations to have that.
Exactly.
But I have a question, and that is, if things have changed, environments have changed, situations have changed, economies have changed, world has changed, like we had with COVID lately, and those policies and procedures that you created maybe 10 years back are not really appropriate now, and you still want to use them, does that help the organization or does it retard the growth of the organization?
No. Mm-hmm.
So we should be open to shifting and changing, because
exactly
my personal opinion, and I could be slapped on my wrist, but this is it. If we are the creators of the policies and procedures, and these policies and procedures are now inhibiting us in our growth as a company, then we are equally powerful to look at them first, to acknowledge, oh, wow, these things really are not helping us, and maybe it's time to change them. So
exactly.
Do are companies, in your opinion, in that part of the world, in Africa, open to doing that?
So first thing first, there are many companies that does not have any procedure, any culture or formal culture, any vision, any mission, any they have anything formal. They have anything that you can say that they are, this is who we are. So there are many companies like that. Okay. And you have other companies who think that if they have take the time to build all that, it's right in the stone. They cannot
it's
go
written
back.
In stone.
They
Exactly.
cannot,
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
they can never go back there and rewrite it. And you have others who are willing to change and are willing to change every year if it's necessary. They are open to do that because they think that our structure, our formal structure should be dynamic. It's there to guide us, to help to help people know what we do, how we do it, and with who do what. But if it's not helping us be who we are willing to be today, if it's not, then it's not serving us anymore in the best way they can. So we have to update. We have to update, and they are doing that every year if it's necessary. So we have all kind of that. It's not just we have people who are willing to do that. Those who doesn't want, those who think that it's not important for them to have any of that now. And I respect all of that.
That's wonderful. So I always will ask amazing country chairs to share with the audience at least 3 or 5 things that you feel are like really necessary for us to grow as a people. Okay. And before I ask you that, I have one question, and that is, what inspired you to really become part of G100, Oneness and Wisdom?
The philosophy. I will say that.
Sorry?
Because I said the philosophy of G100. And I think our wing is this philosophy of G100.
Exactly.
It's oneness and wisdom. I always think, in my way of work with other people and in my life that we are one, really. And that when I do something to myself, I do it to other people. When I do something to anyone, to someone, I do it to myself. Exactly. I think that when I do business, when people ask me, why are you working every time with your competitor? I say, I don't have competitor, I have partners. I have people who do the same thing as me. If they are doing the same thing as me, that means that they are needs. And if they are needs, we need people who address this problem. More people who will be addressing these people, not me. So we are not competing. We are completing ourselves. And that is how we will grow. That is how we will serve better the people. So oneness and wisdom, or G100, for me is also that. I love this philosophy. That's
you actually are living
yes.
it, which is really wonderful.
Yes.
Actually,
I am. Yes, this is what I believe in. This is what I live in my work at home. with my friends. That is, for me, it's the only way to really live as human, and that's why
And
it's nice.
enjoy it too, because that is help. You see, when you can perceive yourself as being extraordinary, that's the extraordinary that you see in other people too, which is truly amazing. Wonderful. So give us some of your amazing wisdom as we are coming to the end of our call. Uh, what would you like to share with everyone who's going to listen to you now or in the future? What do you suggest?
So, you said for us to grow as individual. Yes. So, first thing first, I will say what I do, not what you should be doing.
Sure.
I will say
Absolutely.
what I do, and I will say that there are something that I like to do when I work in, and it will be the last piece of my what you say wisdom. This is really the fifth one. So first thing first, I think in our journey to grow as individual, we have to learn to listen to ourselves. We have to learn to like quiet, being just by ourselves and listening what is going on inside, learning to know who we are, learning to love being just with ourselves, learning to know who we are in order to be who we are. Because a lot of people are not who they are because they don't know who they are. Secondly, secondly, we have to, the second thing I do is that when I discover something in myself and it's something that I love, I share it with others.
Wow.
Yes.
Awesome.
I share it with others because I think that it can help someone else grow. And if I help someone else grow, I am growing.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is the second piece.
Mm.
So the third piece will be that today we learn to look at what feels good, and we forget that each emotion is an emotion, and each emotion has a message for us, and this message is informing us for our needs, our inner state.
Mm.
It's like a meteor. And if you shut out your emotions, you will no longer listen to what is happening in you, will not understand what is going on outside, will not understand what is going on outside. And if you don't understand or listen to your emotion, accept your emotion, accept to feel sad, accept to feel hungry, accept to feel I will say every negative emotion we say, accept to feel them, then you will learn how to manage them because they are just messengers. And if you decode this message, you can go back to your normal state and be happy like you want. But if you are
Pressing it.
suppress your emotion, you will be, I will say, how do we say that? We will be
bottling
not
everything up
depressed,
inside.
not
It'll become like
depressed.
a pound
You keep everything inside, and
and fall sick.
you can get sick. You can explode when you don't want to explode.
True.
And you are not emotionally and socially intelligent because you don't master, you don't communicate with your emotions very well. So that is the
Number
three
three.
part, the third part. And four, listen.
Stop,
Listen.
listen, and then
Stop, listen. Listen to what is going, what people are saying. When you are speaking with someone, listen more than talking. Listen is what help you understand what is going on. Listen is what help you understand who is in front of you. And when you listen, you can process what you understand with what you listen, and then you can decide and act, not react, act. So privilege, listen, than talking and acting right away. Listen, process, decide, and act.
wonderful.
And the last part is something that I will say an image of something that I like to do is that I like shoes.
You like what? Sorry, I didn't.
I like shoes.
Okay.
I like shoes.
Okay.
So when I walk around, if I see a shoe that I love, I will put my foot in. And when I put my foot in, if I still like it and that I have the money to buy, I bring it at home.
Good on you.
So when you listen to people talk, when you learn things, when you go to coaching, mentoring, consulting, training, if something resonates with you, try it on. You try it on, you adapt it, you embody it, and it's become yours. If you don't try, you will never know if it's work for you. If it resonates with you, that means that perhaps it's for you. But if you don't try, you will never know if it worked for you. So go ahead and try it on.
Right on for size. Good for you. Wonderful. So thank you so much, Marie, really. Ladies and gentlemen, we were listening to the wisdom coming from oneness of being totally extraordinary, which is what Marie Claire has been sharing with us. We've been listening to her, and she is, again, our G100 Oneness and Wisdom Cameroon Country Chair. Thank you very much for listening in. Take care and God bless.
Thank you, Jennifer, for having me.